So we got a bunch of stuff to talk about today, a slew of images that originally surfaced on Baidu and later on kind of got better images on eBay, have started to show up of upcoming Transformer product. And we're going to jump into first one here. This was an image that surfaced on Baidu, and it's that of what we thought was a, dare I say, soft canceled Transformer line, the Transformers R.E.D line, which was a Walmart exclusive line of 6-inch non-transformable posable Transformer figures based off of different iterations of the characters, the robot enhanced design line. Now, the last release of figures in this line was Wave 7 in early 2022 of Transformers Prime, Optimus Prime, Transformers Prime Megatron, and a Generation 1 Thundercracker. And the belief was that sales were not doing very well. There was a lot of extra inventory. A lot of that extra inventory was showing up in Ollie's and different kind of closeout locations. And it really, I mean, in my own personal opinion, I've always felt that this line really needed to only cater to stuff that had more impossible designs for transformation and stuff that was more suitable for an action figure and less a transformable figure. I'm looking at those Transformer Prime designs specifically were really good for that. But as a whole, I get what its goal was, and in the end, it didn't really achieve that goal financially. And the belief was, especially considering there hasn't been any news or talk about it since early 2022, that this line was more or less canceled from Walmart. But that isn't the case. Apparently, there was a image that surfaced on Baidu from a person who had a R.E.D Skywarp, because Skywarp was one of the seekers that didn't get done of the trio, and this seems to happen historically with this character. But we don't know the context of it. Is it something that is going to be for a future wave that just has been lingering all this time with R.E.D? Is it something that might be a standalone item? Or it might be just a sample or prototype that will never see the light of day in a retail perspective? We don't know. We don't have any information, just an image from the Chinese message boards, and we'll probably learn more in the future. If not, a question will be asked to Hasbro Marketing on the story behind this. But at the end of the day, we do know something exists, but doesn't really explain what the future of the R.E.D line might be. Second thing we have is the same thing. There were some images on Baidu, the Chinese message board, that of some really rough factory images of yet again another one we were expecting because of the listings and what's been happening over the past couple of weeks. Some really rough images of a Deluxe class War for Cybertron Sideswipe that we knew was coming for Wave 2 of Studio Series in 2024, but those images got scrapped very quickly, less than 24 hours ago, and then nice, beautiful images showed up on eBay, and it's that again of a Transformers Studio Series Gamer Edition Deluxe Class War for Cybertron or Fall of Cybertron Sideswipe, and it's looking real good. And I'm glad that they have these new images, because the old ones from the factory were pretty bad, and these ones look really, really nice, and it shows the articulation, it shows pretty much the bulk of the figure, how it looks, how it scales with everyone, the weapon that it comes with, the alt mode, really nice images. And it's just, it looks fantastic. I'll be honest with you. I'm very impressed with how this turned out as a big fan of the video game, and also a bigger fan of just the transition from doing stuff that's more screen accurate, or in this case, accurate to the game model. The original Generations 2012 War for Cybertron Fall of Cybertron toy, that was designed by Aaron Archer and Takashi Kuniharu-san, and that toy kind of had a double duty. It had to be a Sideswipe figure based more or less inspired by that video game design, but also have the tooling and engineering to be used to then be repainted and retooled into other characters, which we'll get into in a moment. And it did its job. I think the alt mode on the original really did a really good job, but at the end of the day, the robot mode really was kind of lacking in what that game model was, where this Studio Series one really goes out of its way to really try to be as best as it could be as the animation model, with the fine details and the svelteness of it, I guess is the best way to put it. And just everything like that. I'm going to assume Gamer Edition, probably a Sam Smith design. Might be wrong on this one, but looks pretty good. Again, the backpack and how it's more in tune with that, the location of the wheels on the shoulders, stuff that really matches that of the animation model, and it just looks really good. Comes with a nice machine gun that could be shared among all the characters, which was a common weapon in the game that you picked up. Scales amazingly with the other Gamer Edition stuff that we've gotten up to this point, so that looks really good too. Alt mode looks fantastic. I mean, the fact that it doesn't have to have the hole for a gun on the top really just kind of makes it look extra nice and everything, and just, it looks fantastic. The only complaint I could really have, and it's not really a complaint so much just a negative shame of the limitations of the Deluxe class price point, is the cap on paint decos that it could have. Because those animation models, those game models, those PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 models, they were just glistening with metallic paint and hyper detail and the battle wear of a war-torn Cybertron. And unfortunately, the limitations of a Deluxe class price point, you're going to have pretty much molded in plastic colors of reds and blacks, and then light paint deco hits where you can, just to kind of break it up, where it would be so great if something like this got a premium finish and they really went all out with metallic paints and stuff like that. But it is what it is, unfortunately. And it still looks great, though. I think the shape of it, the articulation, everything, it just looks really good, and I'm looking very much forward to it. And if history has served anything and showed us anything, that generation's 2012 one was retooled and repainted into jazz of also the Fall of Cybertron, War of Cybertron line. And maybe that then kind of gives us a little bit of an idea what the future of this mold might be with this Studio Series 1. Maybe it'll also be extensively retooled and repainted into a jazz. And considering how well the partials and the repaint retools have been with Hasbro in the modern era, I could totally see that happening. And of course, taking that as a Sideswipe mold and, you know, repainting it into the 12,000 different other repaints that could be done with a Sideswipe mold, if so fit. But yeah, it looks really good. Very nice stuff. But the same eBayer who also put this one up and all of its images also gave us an update on some of our other Studio Series stuff. Now, let's just go through what's going to be happening, because in April of 2024, we're going to have Wave 2 of the Studio Series line. And we've seen pretty much now, due to all this slew of stuff just dropping into our lap, pretty much almost everything that exists of that wave. We'll just go through it quickly, and then some of those new images that we just talked about. So we have a Core Class MV6 Starscream. That's going to be our Bumblebee movie Starscream, that Cybertronian Tetrajet done in the Bumblebee movie style, but in the Core Class. We haven't seen images of that one yet, but judging by how everything else has been rolling out, probably in the near future. We just talked about our Deluxe class, War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron Gamer Edition Sideswipe. We got some brand new images from that eBayer for the Deluxe class MV6 Sunstreaker, aka Bumblebee movie concept art Sunstreaker, and some brand new, and he looks great now. Like now it's not just, again, a very rough factory photo image like we talked about and showed just a couple days ago. Now he looks really, really good. Shows that he comes with 2 guns, good posability, nice shot of the alt mode. Very excited about that one too. Really like it. Dig it a lot. On top of that, we got the Deluxe Class 86 Gnaw package refresh, just putting out Gnaw again, army building character. If you have not picked them up, you'll get another opportunity to pick up some Sharkticons in this wave. And then, of course, the Voyager Class MV6 Shockwave, the Bumblebee movie Shockwave. We talked about that on the podcast. We got to see it. Looking really, really good. Love me a Shockwave figure. So that's pretty hype. And the last one, joining the Starscream that we have not seen yet, the other one that's probably the most anticipated of the bunch is the Leader Class Studio Series 86 Dinobot Swoop. And people are really looking forward to that. And I get a feeling, if it's not going to be next week, because obviously we have our Hasbro Pulse fan stream, and it's going to be heavily top-ended on the Hasbro Pulse HasLab item, we might get maybe a little teaser, at least, of some of this stuff. Maybe BMAC will do a space bridge just teasing this. And then the next live stream or fan stream or Transformer Tuesday or Fan First Friday or whatever will then feature these items, because these have an April 2024 release date. So it's coming quick. So maybe our January, February stream will be the HasLab item, and then we'll get a February, March stream for these with pre-orders and everything. And we'll get to see some of these guys for the first time, the Starscream, the Swoop, if they don't already show up from the factories, because judging by what's been happening over the past couple of weeks, looks like it's happening real quick. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Pretty hype stuff otherwise, and I'll talk to you really soon here on the Transformers Slag podcast. And thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something today.